Alright, hey you guys, it's Clint from GardenFrugal.com here today with another transplanted episode of Garden Frugal TV. So in today's episode I'm going to show you guys how I transplant my tomatoes. So, I got the raised beds going. I don't have the trellis system in yet, but I really need to get these things transplanted and going. As you can see, they're getting pretty tall here, but that's also good and in my favor because of one of the tips I'm going to give you guys is utilizing those nice tall tomato starts, and I'm going to transplant them deep. So for those of you that don't know, tomatoes are one of the few plants you can transplant deeper than the original soil level. And what the advantage is this main stalk, wherever it touches dirt, is going to grow new roots. So it's a great advantage. A lot of people freak out or worry that you're pinching off leaves or fruit or anything else, that you're losing fruit. But to tell you the truth, you're actually going to make it up. So when you transplant it deep and you got a nice strong healthy root structure, this plant's going to make up for it in no time, you guys. So the secret is to plant them deep. And then what I got here is I went to Concentrates Inc. It's here in the Portland area. You can check out their website, concentratesnw.com. But I loaded up on a bunch of different stuff for transplanting these tomato plants. So what I have here is just a 5-gallon bucket filled with just a general purpose organic fertilizer. I have some rock phosphate, and that's great for transplanting tomatoes. If you put a handful of that down in the bottom of the hole, the secret to using the rock phosphate is it has to be in the bottom of the hole where the roots are going to touch it. If you just mix it into the soil and stuff, you're not going to get the advantages of using it. So just a handful right in the bottom, right where the roots will come in contact with it, grow through it. But the rock phosphate is going to double your fruit production. And then I have a 5-gallon bucket here of Epsom salt. So I'm going to use a handful of Epsom salts as well. And what that's going to do is going to help prevent blossom end rot, and the plants also love it. So that's basically it. I also have with me some extreme gardening products. I have their Mycos, which is just a mycorrhiza, and it forms a bond with the plant's roots and feeds the plants, and the plants do great with it. And I also have their product ASOS, which is just a natural occurring bacteria. Same thing, it bonds with the roots and it supplies the plants with nitrogen. So both of these are really great products. I don't have them. I'm going to be using a handful of each of these other products, but then it just calls for 1 to 2 tablespoons of the Mycos, and it calls for 1 to 2 teaspoons of the ASOS. So it doesn't take a lot of these products. I have a lot more, but this is just what I had kind of set aside for when I was doing my starts. So that's basically it, you guys. I'm going to use all this. I'm going to dig some holes. I'm going to plant them deep, and I'm going to use the square foot gardening method for spacing these plants out. So basically the square foot gardening method calls for tomatoes to be spaced per square foot, 1 tomato plant. So I'm just going to space them out every square foot, and I'm going to do a trellis system, which you'll see here later, but I'm going to do that right down the middle of the bed. So the bed's 4 feet wide, so 2 foot in is right where the trellis system is going to be, and so if I come off the trellis system, I got 2 square feet after that. I want my tomato plant basically in the middle of that square foot, so I'm going to come 6 inches off the middle and 1 foot spacing all the way down the center on both sides. I'm going to transplant all these tomatoes. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll bring you in close to show you what I do here. All right, so here's basically the center of my bed. I'm going to come about 6 inches back on 1 foot spacings, and we're going to dig a hole. So I'll start here with my first one. This is a Sweet 1 Million. And to get this thing going, I'm basically just going to pinch all these things off that are going to be below the soil line. I know it looks pretty drastic, but trust me, it'll recover here. And I'm going to plant this thing pretty deep. So let's dig ourselves a hole here. Basically get it 2 times the diameter of the plant. Just like transplanting any other plant. Just going to check out the depth here. And that's looking pretty good for me, I think. And it's really easy, you guys. It's not rocket science. I'm just going to grab a handful of Epsom salt, sprinkle it around in the hole, handful of the rock phosphate, sprinkle it around in the hole, handful of the organic fertilizer, ooh, and the wind's picking up here. Just a teaspoon or so of the Extreme Gardening Azos, and I'm just going to use a little pinch here of the Mycos. And that's basically it. Then I'm just going to kind of agitate the soil, mix it up here underneath. I'm going to grab my tomato start. Just kind of rough these roots up a little bit. They start to get a little bit of root bound. Not too much though. You don't want to stress this thing out too much. Down in the hole and just backfill around it, you guys. You don't need to push down super hard. The technique that Ray from the Praxis 55712 channel, he always just recommends don't push any harder than you'd push on your eyeball. So hopefully none of you push too hard on your eyeball. But that's basically it. That's one tomato plant transplanted. Alright, something else I'm going to do, you guys, is I'm going to show you the other technique. Besides planting them deep, this bed is nice and deep. I can do these nice and deep like this. But for those of you that don't have beds as deep as this, another method is the trench method. And a really cool tip I'm going to show you for doing the trench method is coming up in the next video. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave this tomato plant lay in here and give it a couple days, and then I'll come back and I'll film the next episode of showing you a really cool tip on the trench method. So that's it. We got the first one transplanted here. I'm going to go through and do all these. I'm going to do them all pretty deep, but you'll see. You know, after giving these things some time, you'll see it'll make up for it. These things will be going crazy. They'll be going bonkers. And using these different tips and techniques, you guys will be able to get some awesome tomatoes out of them as well. Like I said, last year my tomatoes were 7-8 feet tall, so I'm hoping for the same thing this year. And like I said, next episode I'm going to show you the trench method. That'll be coming up here in just a little bit, and hopefully I'll be doing the drip irrigation and the trellis system coming up on the series Build and Raise Garden Beds. But for now, you guys, I got to get to doing this before it starts raining. You guys know the drill. Until next time, know your limit and grow within it. All right, guys, take care.